whoever you are, wherever you are. Hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.rich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Yellow, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn that attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
All right, family. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Tuesdays, only on channel gboot2786 on Gavin Richard, my YouTube channel. If you're watching via Periscope on Gavin Rich 2786 on Facebook, Gavin Richard. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in, whoever you are, wherever you are. Hope you're blessed and doing safe. Tonight, we shall be discussing the following. Little boy shows up on a Black family's doorstep trying to whip their daughter. ATL family wins major lawsuit with nursing home over grandmother's death.
Uh, Flat out gross. Family allowed their special needs daughter to literally melt on a couch. Yeah, that is. I'm not kidding with that one, guys. And more mayo fall out over the Buffalo mass shooting at Tops grocery store. All this and more on tonight's channel. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. You see the ticker at the bottom. Please donate to the Cash App, Cash App Gavin Richard Esquire, or Google Pay, PayPal, and Zelle. I would ask you all to hit that like, share, and subscribe button because you know YouTube has us on a shadow ban. They have demonetized our channel, but I can see more and more people still coming to this channel regardless. Some of you are not getting your notifications when we go live. I've heard someone tell me that, but the best thing to do is to go ahead and actually uh, make sure you hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell when we go live. Again, hit that like, share, and subscribe now. Hit it now, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go live, and of course, we like to pay some dues. I need you all to check out our website. Now, you know Memorial Day is coming, right? Memorial Day is here, and Memorial Day, believe it or not, I've shared the story before. It was done to honor the fallen black soldiers during the fallen Union soldiers, actually in general, but the black soldiers as well. Uh, on Memorial Day weekend, fought in the Civil War. That's how that actually started. And if you recall, sometime I would say it was in 2020 when a retired white, I believe he was a general, if I'm not mistaken, was actually at a Memorial Day. I'm bringing this up. I'm talking about minorities Creole blends, but I'm bringing in some history. Just thinking, I get off topic. I'm sorry, but I do want to bring this up. When they cut off his microphone when he was telling the truth about how Memorial Day was started by former slaves. Well, that is truth. But at any rate, and I'm using Black history to sell seasoning. I hate to say it like that, but yes. Please hit that shopping cart button right there. Continue shopping and order you some Nornie's Creole blends, ladies and gentlemen. We try and trying to get to our orders as many as we can. Uh, we are actually trying to push our items into stores as we speak. So any support that the family can give, any support you all uh, can give to us is greatly appreciated. I would ask you all to, yeah, just go ahead, order you some seasoning, try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Noni's goes great with every dish. We also have our, if you check this out, my first episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I'm getting ready to do my second episode of that. When our first one was up, I had on Al Lanier, and we talked about the death of Malcolm X. So next we're going to be, I won't spoil it, but I have a special guest who's going to come in and drop in and talk about our next topic for our podcast. So you guys don't want to miss that. But yeah, go on and look up Unsolved Mysteries on YouTube right now on my page. Check that out. Hit that like button and support it. And of course, we always got to promote our music. We have videos sold on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. And our theme song, which is always, is Gotta Get On Up. Now, before we get on down, we always like to get on up. Should I play the theme song or should I get right to the top? Let's see. I think, eh, I think I should go ahead. Who wants the theme? Who wants to get on up? Nobody want to get on up? Can't open the link, baby, because that's just the tag. But I'll put it in. Hold on. Somebody post the link to. This is the link. So just highlight that, baby. All right. So that's what I thought. See, I know there's a lag. That's what I thought. So let's go ahead and drop the beat, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna get started in a few ticks. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's do what we do. Let's get on up. gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Do-do-do-do. Get on up. What's up, everybody? Y'all, we need to make that song. I'm gonna do a kick-ass intro again, but we need to probably remix that song, and I need to re-release it so I can be a gazillionaire. I haven't been there yet. I'm a dollionaire at this point. Uh, but what's up, family? I'm big into music. It's different when, and I ask people to go to iTunes and Apple to actually download and purchase the songs because it's actually pays us more, especially than streaming. Because when you stream something, that just means you get plays and stuff, and you're getting paid on cents. But people in the music industry, some people rarely know the power of how much they're making, how to master it. But there is a way to do it. Uh, What's up, family? What is up? Excuse me, I'm trying to Share this with everybody, trying to get people uh, into the building right now. Let's see if my brother Bernard, brother Bernard listening. I see Sizzle. Hold on a second, Sean. We got Judah Queen. What's up, Queen? Please purchase you some seasoning. Sharon 25 wants to join the stream. I'm kind of in the middle of something, but I tell you what, you get to call in later if you'd like to. We can do that. So yeah, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, I'm gonna get a copyright strike for playing my own song, but it'll get cleared later on. But yeah, man, how's the family doing? How are we doing tonight? We gotta get this rolling because I don't want this to be a late show. Honestly, 'cause I got stuff to do in the morning. Thank you, Judah Queen. I know you all are in. Thank y'all for being in, but please share this so we get more people in here. I've never seen brother Sharian 25. I've never seen you here before, but welcome. Some chick named Star. Others. So, what should we talk about? Let's just get it started. Of course, the major news, of course, has been this thing going on in Buffalo. We know there was another attempt in New York at that church, and someone I just saw this. I don't know how true it is. I don't want to say anything falsely, but someone said there was possibly what happened in Buffalo almost took place in Dallas. Something happened in Dallas. Two arrested over a Dallas concert shooting that left one dead and 16 injured. I'm asking because my brother and friend Daryl, he's a fellow attorney. Daryl Washington had put this on Facebook. Let me just show y'all right quick. I don't know if this is true or not, but can someone confirm what happened? Family out in Texas and Dallas, and we got a story to talk about in Dallas in a little bit, but we'll get to that. But I wanted to talk about so yeah, two arrested over a Dallas concert shooting. What's going on with that? This happened like well, it wasn't black. It wasn't whites. Apparently, I'm looking at this. This was Dallas police have made two arrests in the shooting at an outdoor festival last month that left one person dead, 16 injured. Okay, so it's not a white supremacist attack. Apparently, allegedly, I'm looking at this. They charged two black men, Estaniel Calhoun and Devoy Gibbons, 25 and 26. They were charged by the North Texas Fugitive Task Force and they were taken into custody by the North Texas Fugitive Task Force and ATF Violent Crimes Task Force. They are charged with felony deadly conduct. So not the same thing, but of course, death is death, and we feel terrible about the family members uh, who have lost their loved ones, the people that were killed. So these are the two suspects. They're presumed innocent until proven guilty. Uh, they fired their handguns during an outdoor party and festival that drew thousands of people on April 2nd. I don't compare it necessarily with what happened. Oh, this was last month. Yeah, I don't compare that. So when my brothers posted that, he said what happened in Buffalo could have happened in Texas. I'm not trying to attack him. However, the eye is raccoon. Coon. Man, we got enough of them. Suck as shit. You kill your own like that, especially you firing a gun at an outdoor party where you got thousands of people that are just shooting. Like people don't even know how to fucking shoot either. That's the thing. Our kids are getting these guns. Y'all know what happened today? I want to get into our story in a little bit. Yeah, I don't really go out to concerts like talking about it like I did back then. I mean, I try to stay away from environment like this, but most people, I stopped going out a while ago. I mean, I don't really go to uh, parties like talking. Well, I'm private parties I may go to, but
like to hip hop concert or something like that, man, them days over. Just about. Maybe to relive my childhood a little bit, but I can do that from the comfort of YouTube, and I ain't got to pay $100 for it, so or park, which is even better. But yeah, so these guys, if they did it, they have been charged.
Two men are in custody, and police say more arrests are possible for last month's mass shooting.
I wouldn't compare it to that.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Keelan Gilmore was killed that night. Jasmine Anderson was wounded, shot in the head. We spoke to both families after police announced these arrests. Fox 4's Sean Rabb is at the Dallas Police Headquarters with more on the story. Sean.
Yeah, and as you might imagine, there was relief at word of the arrest, but for Keelan Gilmore's family, still unabated anguish. He was killed that night. The police chief says there were other shooters and could be more arrests, but no one has yet been charged with murder.
Okay, so that's Daryl right there.
Ebbing emotion as Shalonda Gilmore talks about learning son Keelan had been shot and killed. Younger son Kendall called from a concert and festival April 2nd. Keelan Gilmore was only at the event because younger brother Kendall wanted to go.
Oh, wow.
But it was a lot of shooting. I feel like I ain't dead.
The Gilmore family talk about the arrest of two men and the shooting that took Keelan's life.
It took a little bit of the burden off of me because I still don't have my son.
Now, hold on, let me pause
Daryl
this.
K. Washington, the Gilmore.
Now, that's my friend Daryl.
blamed Dallas police for
That's my
allowing
colleague.
officers to work a non-permitted event as a part-time job. Those officers then left with thousands still on the grounds.
And they leave these people basically to be out on their own.
Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia changed department rules for off-duty jobs after the shooting, requiring supervisor approval and only for events with proper permits. Still on the ground.
Let's rewind that.
Attorney Daryl K. Washington, the Gilmores, in part, blamed Dallas police for allowing officers to work a non-permitted event as a part-time job. Those officers then left with thousands still on the grounds.
And they leave these people basically to be out on their own.
Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia changed department rules for off.
Wait, they left. These officers were working, obviously off duty, at this event. Being an officer, they don't make a lot of money. Police officers don't. They go and work this event, and apparently, when the shooting takes place, according to Mr. Washington, they left these people all on their own. They didn't render aid, didn't stop to help. That's cowardice. Dallas PD is dirty as hell. Yeah, I know. They had a shooting. Well, here's the thing: it's an outdoor event, so you saw what happened. Remember what happened in Houston with Travis Scott when all of those people who didn't have tickets. I'm assuming most of them didn't have tickets, just rushed into that venue, although it was outside. They passed the security entrance. They passed the metal detectors. Anybody could have gotten in. I will tell you something. I went to a comedy show years ago at the River Center in Baton Rouge, Darius, and I can tell you, all they did was check tickets. They did not search anybody going into the Baton Rouge River Center. I will never forget. We went to see Chris. I went to see Chris Tucker perform live, and they let him go in there on one. They went in unchecked, unsupervised, and anybody could have gotten in there with a firearm. Yeah. So yeah, that's gross. That's cowardice. But let's finish the video right quick because I don't want to get
Duty
to
jobs after the shooting, requiring
this. Wasn't
supervisor
even part of
approval,
our
and only for
talk
events
tonight,
with
but
proper permits.
And I think we've been successful in a few instances, actually, which you never hear about, but of large events that were scheduled to occur, and only because of the diligent work by men and women of the city and of this department that we were able to stop those events from happening.
And I know it's still a long process, but the first part of it is over. And I'm glad. I'm trying to get home right now.
Lorenzo and Monisha Anderson's daughter Jasmine was attending her first trail ride festival. She survived a gunshot wound to the head, now out of the hospital and in rehab.
She's doing unbelievably well. She's responding to all of her therapies. It's really just, she's a walking miracle. I mean, if I can't put it into any other words, God has really performed a miracle for us.
The highlight of the festival, a concert event with thousands packed near the main stage. Police say Estonio Calhoun and Devoje Gibbons both pulled guns and fired into the crowd following a fight. Both now charged with felony deadly conduct.
It indicates that the investigation is ongoing, and I think they found a charge that they were confident with. Once they identified these shooters, they wanted to get them off the street as soon as possible for public safety.
Patrick Wilson is the former Ellis County District Attorney, now in private practice in Waxahachie. He thinks higher and more serious charges will come once ballistic testing is done.
You have two shooters and two victims, one of whom died, and so the odds that these guys
could be a murder,
third-degree felony, are slim to none, in my opinion.
For Shalonda Gilmore, uneasing pain.
Not only that I'm hurt because of my son, but I hurt because my other son had to witness it. I have one that's gone, and then I have one that's having problems now.
And the Gilmores want everyone involved in that night to be held accountable, from the promoter to the people who chose to pull guns and start shooting to the police officers who were there and left. As for the police, detectives are still investigating. The department has created a portal for you to upload pictures and videos if you were there that night, and we have a link to that on our website, fox4news.com.
Now, I want to just say this because I clicked on that, but you noticed in that video, guys, let me exit that. You noticed that these men were immediately arrested. When it's us, the situation is reversed, typically when we have a mass shooting, and this is where I distance myself from Brother Darrell's remarks, because he said it could have been another Buffalo. This white supremacist, I don't actively targeted Black people. By the way that the evidence looks, allegedly his manifesto. I only say that because, as an attorney, I believe in due process. I'm trained to believe in that. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. Yes, I believe in that stuff. The due process, a person's right to a fair trial, their presumption of innocence. I'd be hypocritical if I said I didn't. But by all intents and purposes, the evidence, and we know because of the video footage, him saying "I'm sorry" when he pointed that rifle at that white cashier that was on the ground hiding, shows that he was actively targeting Black people. I'm just going to say what needs to be said. I don't mince my words either. So he scoped out the place. Yeah, apparently he picked a targeted area. And let's go ahead and talk about our topic now, because there's more Mayo fallout over the Buffalo mass shooting at Tops Grocery Store. Now, I want to point something out that Tariq Nasheed shared on his Facebook page. Now, this is the thing that gets me. I hate 911. I know it may not be all of them, but a lot of 911 operators, you would think probably are the ones that should be on the take, not the police. Because you would think they just have, a lot of them have a nasty, not all of them, but a nasty attitude. Now, I want you to listen very carefully to what this assistant manager stated that took place at the grocery store when she called 911. I want y'all to listen very carefully.
Thank you for joining us. It's my understanding that you were working inside of the Tops Market. I believe you were an assistant manager there. Can you walk us through what you saw this afternoon?
I didn't really see much at all. I just heard the gunshots and just dropped down to the ground. and just waited for him to stop. And he just wouldn't stop. So I tried to call 911 and I was whispering because I could hear him close by. And when I whispered on the phone to 911, the dispatcher would start yelling at me saying, "Why are you whispering? You don't have to whisper." And I'm trying to tell her, like, "Ma'am, he's in the store, he's shooting, he's an active shooter. I'm scared for my life." And she said something crazy to me and then she hung up in my face. And I had to call my boyfriend to tell him to call 911.
Well, that is certainly unfortunate, Letitia.
So this 911 operator hung up the phone. Oh, I'm not trying to play Sam Cooke. Hung up the phone while an active shooting was going on. And then her boyfriend had to call the 911 in order for them to get people out of there. I heard about that, Esmont. We'll deal with that in a minute. But let me tell you, a lot of these 911 operators, I know it ain't all of them, I'm not applying all, but a lot of them are fucked up. Excuse my French. They are the worst of the, some of them are worse of the worst. Now, I want to share this with you right quick. Remember something that happened out in Arkansas? There was a young lady who was drowning, and this 911 operator was fired, or should I say was forced to resign, fired. She told a drowning woman to shut up, and she would not face charges. So this is what happened here. So this 911 operator was actually mocking this drowning woman in her last moments. Now I want y'all to listen to this. Now this happens on, I'm gonna play it from Inside Edition, but
it was the 911 call that shocked America.
Debbie, you're gonna have to shut up, okay?
A rude operator sounding like she was mocking a woman who was facing the crisis of her life, trapped in a flash flood.
This will teach you next time, don't drive in the water.
Oh
now
my God.
The family of the woman who drowned is breaking their silence.
She called her for help. And that's the only reason why she called her, was for help.
Debbie Stevens was delivering newspapers in Fort Smith, Arkansas, when her car was swept away.
Please help me, I don't want to die.
As Debbie's SUV filled with water, she called her mother-in-law, Diane.
She said, "Please come help me. Pull me out of the water. I'm stranded and I don't want to die today. I'm going to drown." And I said, "Call emergency now. I can't get to you."
But what the dispatcher, identified as Donna Renault, said to her was shocking.
Debbie, you're going to have to shut up, okay? I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before. Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
At one point, Debbie ends up apologizing to the dispatcher.
Couldn't see it, make it I'm sorry, or I wouldn't. I don't see how you didn't see it. You had to go right over it.
Debbie's sister-in-law, Rebecca.
Even in those moments, her last moments, she was still Debbie. She was still genuine and sincere and kind and loving and respectful.
1 hour later, first responders found her dead. Inside Edition was invited to the memorial service held for Debbie over the weekend. Amazing grace. And it turned out to be a double service. You see, Debbie's 80-year-old mom died 3 weeks after Debbie. Her family believes she died of a broken heart.
I do think that played a big role in her death. She was brokenhearted.
Her friends filled the pews, a community united in grief in the untimely deaths of 2 women gone too soon.
No, but this
even in their
is
deepest grief. Her family's message is one of forgiveness for the 911 dispatcher.
I do forgive
Oh
her,
Lord.
even though it's hard.
Please help me, I don't want to die.
She needs to be fired. My understanding, now just to follow up on that story, for those of you wondering, that 911 dispatcher, now this is another example too, because this happened with Richard Sherman's wife when she called 911. They tried to defend this. Now listen.
First court appearance, and a judge ordered his release from jail after finding probable cause on 4 misdemeanor counts. But Congress 7 found a 911 call made by Sherman's wife is raising eyebrows with people accusing that dispatcher of handling the call poorly.
Dee Dee, you walked through the calls with the former King County Sheriff to get his take on it.
And the former King County Sheriff says, you know, when we hear the 911 call, we feel for Ashley, Richard Sherman's wife. We feel awful about the situation that she's going through. He says that's natural, but it does not mean the dispatcher did anything wrong. Richard Sherman's family in distress yesterday, calling 911.
It's Richard Sherman. Like, ma'am, this is like an emergency. I need officers here
Listen
now.
to me. I'm handling this.
This call went to the King County Sheriff's Office. After this 911 call was released, we heard from many of you upset at how the call taker responded. Take a listen.
911, what are you reporting?
I need officers to my house now. My husband is drunk and threatening to kill himself.
Stop. What's the address? Are there any weapons? Stop.
No, there's no gun. I'm saying there are no weapons, ma'am. There are no weapons.
You need to stop interrupting me so I can get the information I need.
People emailed us and commented online saying the call taker was unprofessional and that she should have done a better job calming someone down. Former King County Sheriff John Urquhart says there's a reason for how she's speaking.
The dispatcher has certain information she has to get, and she has to get it right now. Every time, they have to take control of the conversation, and that's what I heard on that 911 tape.
He says the dispatcher is interrupting to get the most critical information.
She is taking control, and anytime you're involved in a conversation with someone, when one side takes control, that makes sometimes, all the time, makes people step back and say, hey, wow, what's going on here? But in this case, they don't understand why it's so important, why she is doing what she's doing. And it's absolutely critical, and
bullshit.
Life and death.
Let me say this. Yeah, it's critical to get information. That's bullshit because, let me say this. There's also a way how you do your job. I try when I talk with my clients, yes, I let them talk and explain themselves. And yes, it's true from time to time, I have to stop them in order to reel them back in. But I don't tell someone to shut up. I don't mock someone when they're near death. With that 911 operator, if you're asking the one that happened in Arkansas, she resigned. She did a 2 weeks resignation. She resigned from work, but
death.
I don't
In a
condone
later
this, no.
911 call answered by Redmond Police, which was just released this afternoon, you do hear a difference in tone from a different dispatcher.
That's the key.
Yes, hold on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We got some officers on the way. Anybody get you answer some questions for me, okay?
Urquhart says there might be differences in how call takers respond.
Of course.
But he does not believe that first call taker violated any protocols.
My mind, no question about it whatsoever.
The King County Sheriff's Office says they have received complaints about that call, and the call is undergoing administrative review to see if it violated any policy. We'll keep you updated.
Let me stop there. So this is what I want to talk about because we really to get further into the topic because we talked about fallout from the Mayo-splaining and more fallout of the shooting. I want to show you this story. Of course, you probably have seen this on Facebook. Let me put this up for you all. I'm sharing this. And I talked about the operator, but let's talk about what happened here. So apparently there's this guy. His name is I want to say it's him, Greg Foster, allegedly. It's alleged that's who this came from. It can be verified, but his name was on there. But he works with the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. And today, the state's Department of Corrections suspended this corrections officer without pay because of a cruel, it's not even a joke. I'm not even classifying a joke. He put a meme up mocking the victims of Saturday's massacre. According to the report here from NYS DOCCS, the tweet, they said earlier this morning, DOCCS has been made aware of a despicable social media post by an employee of the department. The comments made by this corrections officer in violation of multiple department rules are in violation of multiple department rules and will not be tolerated. However, screen grabs that circulated widely online indicated that the meme was initially shared by someone named Gregory Foster. State payroll records show a Gregory C. Foster II is a corrections officer at the Attica Correctional Facility, earning $185,482 in 2020. Damn. And I need to be a corrections officer. 6 figures to be a corrections officer in Attica? Are you kidding me? It goes on, the meme that was circulating was this, brothers and sisters. Clean up on aisle 3. No, wait, 4. Also on 7, 9, 12, and 13. This meme was shared, and there was a lot of obviously it was funny to a couple of individuals, including to Greg. We're gonna make make Greg a star. He wanted to post this. He wanted people to know who he was. He wanted to weed out his Facebook friends. Now we're gonna weed out him. Now he's in Attica. Now this is I'm a suspected white supremacist in Attica Correctional Facility, where I'm sure there are a lot of brothers locked up, black men locked up in there. Some falsely, some rightfully being there, but nevertheless, remember years ago, Attica was the face of prison, was one of the early prison riots in the 70s. There was a riot that took place over the conditions in the prison. And they took people hostage. They took the correctional officers hostage. In fact, Samuel Jackson, and I'm trying to think of the other actors that was in it. Kyle McCallahan, and a couple of other people did a movie on Attica. Clarence Williams III was in the movie. Yeah, Attica. So let's weed his ass out. We're gonna weed out Greg. So we're gonna clean him up. Now, this is a correctional officer saying this. You are a person in authority at a prison facility where many of the people who were targeted, a large number who are in that prison, were, of course, of the same demographic that were targeted by this male monkey, this racist male monkey. Hey, he thinks we a nigga, I'm gonna spur him back. That's what they think of us. They see Biden was in Buffalo at the memorial. Yeah. But we read more from the state from this website. I'm gonna put the link up here from the Orleans Times Herald. They suspended this man, but also I'm reading further and further here. Foster punctuated the meme with the comment "too soon," as you saw. This should weed out some Facebook friends, followed by a laughing emoji. The meme sparked outrage, particularly as it became apparent the person who shared it was a corrections officer. So in a series of tweets Tuesday afternoon, DOCCS said it was launching an investigation into the meme and would seek further discipline of department employees who engage with the post. You see, Facebook, social media has allowed white supremacists, these devils, to do whatever they feel, be empowered. It's allowed people to show also who they really are. Yes, I hear that, Darius. It has showed white supremacists, allowed them to be who they are, to go out and say what they want and feel they have no repercussions. Well, they're finding out, sadly but surely, or should I say happily and surely, that there are repercussions for your words, for your actions. And this was not a joke that he said. Now, yes, you have freedom of speech in this country, First Amendment, but when you work with someone also, if you work for a company and there's policies with regards to, and This is legal. I am a legal person, and I got to clarify this isn't legal advice, but this is legal advice. However, it doesn't create an attorney-client relationship. Remember, when you read your policies, when you join someone, they have policies within their office and got employee guidelines where employees may have to stay off social media. That happens with teachers. Some teachers can't be on Instagram and do videos and so forth. They have to be careful with it, and the reason being is because there are children around who see this, and also you represent us. Some corporations and businesses do that, which you may find cruel, but that is cruel and unusual, but it is their right. And apparently, from what they're saying, is he violated some policies. And if he did violate policies, and I'm assuming he did, based off the information I had, if that is him who made this, I'm going to go off and say, just from what I'm seeing, they said yes, it was him. They confirmed it from reading this post of Gregory Foster, who does work at the corrections office, and they suspended an employee. They didn't name him by name in the tweet, but assuming it is Greg, and assuming he did this, then he should be fired. And so should his friends. And they should not be working in law enforcement at all. But this is what they've been doing. The law has always had white supremacists within its ranks. The Klan's members, the head of the Klan, was the chief of police. Remember the movie Mississippi Burning, when the 3 civil rights workers were missing and the deputies and the sheriff were all part of it? The mayor was involved in it as well. You weren't going to get cooperation from them because they were the suspects. They were the guilty parties. They got off easy on civil rights charges. But yeah, Greg wanted to weed out some Facebook friends. Let's weed out Greg. We're going to weed out Greg. So let's not forget this face, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget this fucker. Call himself self-employed. Motherfucker, you work for Attica. If he made this post, I'm going to say he did. Based off I'm doing that only, I'm trying to cover my ass saying this, but I'm doing this based off the article here from Olean Times Herald that I've put in the chat. But y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Fuck you, Greg. But I'm glad this is coming out because it's showing these white boys what they really think about us. I'm glad we get it out the open because now we're not awake anymore. We're not asleep anymore. We're awake. Not woke, you're awake. And they tried to say, his family tried to blame it on COVID. Someone, I think it was Queen Shakur who said that the family said blamed it on COVID-19. That they blamed it on COVID. Some bullshit like this. Yeah, they told the New York Post on Monday that the teen likely snapped because of his paranoia and isolation due to the pandemic. They say, quote, he was very paranoid. This is a cousin, so this isn't his mom. I have no idea how he could have gotten caught up in this. I blame it on COVID. Sandra Komorov, 68, a cousin of Jenderen's mom, Pamela, referring to the teen's alleged hate-fueled rampage that left 10 black people dead at a Tops Friendly market on Saturday. Let's correct this. This ain't a teenager. This is a man. He's 18 years old. You're a grown man now. We're going to do what they do with us. Hey, they charging our 16-year-olds as adults. He's not no kid. You're a man. You made a grown man decision. You got to deal with the grown man consequences. I guess she might as well blame it on the alcohol. She's gonna say some shit like this. Blame it on the rock. Blame it on the goose. Blame it on the juice, boy, go getting loose. Blame it on the alcohol. Where's Jamie Foxx when you need him? And he got. They said he got COVID just a few weeks ago. He went to family functions with a respirator mask on. He totally wasn't going to get COVID, and then he got. I don't even know if I buy this. If that was a family member who said this crap. Her husband, Dave Komarov, 68, added, in theory, COVID could have affected the way they call the lizard brain, the part of the brain that controls aggression. Okay, I'm done. I like to read if anybody has it, because I haven't been able to see it, but send me the manifesto so I could read it. Yeah, he's looked like a fucking lizard. But she looks like a lizard. Send me the manifesto when y'all get a chance. Put in a link for me so I can look at it for those that have been reading it. It's just like that judge who said I had depression. Remember that judge out in Lafayette who had to resign? The city court judge, she got caught. Her and her children got caught, and her husband caught saying nigga, the N-word, when they supposedly got burglarized and robbed. Yeah, she blamed racism and how she took her so long. She blamed it on racism, her depression medication she took. Something like that. Yeah, I remember. Y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Speaking of male outrage, let's talk about this. We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take some calls in a little bit. But, okay, yeah, send me a copy of the manifesto so I can read it. I don't know why I can't find it on. I don't know why they don't have it on the news here. They usually carry a link with some of this stuff. But if y'all can send me a copy of it, I'd like to read it. But speaking of male outrage, so this little cracker in the making showed up on a black couple's doorstep trying to whip their daughter, the couple's daughter. Over what, I don't know, but we're going to go to this video here. It's coming from Dallas, CBS, Dallas Fort Worth. This was in Kaufman County. So this happens. This white child got caught. You know why I say cracker? The term cracker came from the use of the whip. But apparently, and people may get upset with me saying that, but this is what he's doing. He showed up to the door with a whip. Now, where did he get the whip from? Just like Peyton. Where did he get the AR-15 from? How he showed up with all that ammunition with Kevlar.
The Kaufman County family telling CBS 11 they are really unsettled.
Let's play the video.
A neighborhood boy came to their front door and had a whip and used it several times.
The threat didn't stop there. Our Nick Starling spoke with the family who wants the boy's parents to take responsibility.
Carissa Nash was home when this happened at her door.
It was terrifying.
A neighborhood boy angrily knocking and lashing a whip at her door.
When I look on the doorbell camera, I can see, he actually has a whip. So I just, swing the door open. I'm like, what's going on? You need to leave.
The family says this started Thursday after school when their daughter and the neighborhood boy were walking back home.
This one particular kid was hitting the girls with the skateboard, and she retaliated and hit him back. One of the other kids pushed him in some water, pushed him from behind. He fell into a puddle of water. When he got up, the first person he seen was our daughter. So he assumed that she did it.
They also claim this scratch on the car was also from the whip.
It's a deep scratch, not something that you can fill in or buff away.
When Desiree Nash walked over to confront the boy's dad about this,
As soon as he opens the door, I see that he has a weapon behind his back and he's leaning up against the doorway.
he tries to show the neighbor what happened, but told him to get away. After the discussion got heated, Nash says the neighbor fired off a shot.
His daughter was standing behind him in the doorway. She could have easily been hit by the bullet. My wife could have been hit. I could have been hit.
Nash says then the cops arrived. Late Saturday, the Kaufman County Constable Precinct 2 confirms to CBS 11 News that neighbor was charged with deadly conduct because of reckless discharge of a firearm, and the man has since bonded out of jail. The Nashes just want this whole ordeal behind them and move on.
Hopefully he takes responsibility for it, and things just this whole situation, this whole situation boils over, hopefully, without any further consequences or anyone else getting hurt.
The Nashes tell us police are patrolling the neighborhood more because of this incident. We did knock on the neighbor's door to get a response. No one was home at the time. In Kaufman County, Nick Starling, CBS 11 News.
The neighbor has been identified, as you see here, as Brian Brunson. He's been charged with deadly conduct. As for the boy, the Kaufman County Constable says he is 9 years old and cannot be charged in a juvenile setting. We'll be right back.
Motherfucker look like Robin Williams' knuckle. The late Robin Williams. Look at that! Look at that mug shot. Look at that. Hold on a second.
Here as
oh, we can't do a side by side. Can we? Okay, this is the closest. I'm cuter. No, he reminds me of the fan. Remember Antonia from Mad TV? That character who always had her. Nicole Sullivan played her. Her character was always, hello, ooh, I think so. That was and yes, Darius, she is cute. Mrs. Nash, Carissa Nash, and her husband D Nash posted a video to highlight how local law enforcement told them the boy is too young to face any criminal penalty. But the boy's father, Brian Thomas Brunson, will later be arrested, as you saw, for deadly conduct because he not only had a firearm, but he almost shot his own daughter who was behind him. Now, they posted the video of their visit to on YouTube, and we're gonna go ahead. I want to play, if I can. You saw that video there, but I want to play the clip when the father confronted him. Now, I want to say this: the dad. A lot of you all, I saw people like, why the father didn't show up with the gun to go at the dude. Well, not go at the dude, but pull up with a gun where this white boy was home with the gun. Well, had he done that,
we can't even have a conversation.
Okay. Let me just talk about some things that were right and wrong with that. The email is at the bottom. No, I don't blame Christianity on this. I don't think it was that. I think that it could have been they just wanted to be civil. People know. I don't know what their thinking was with it. She wanted to talk with the dad, which is typically the right thing to do. Right thing to do. I would confront if a child did something to my child. Yeah, you confront the father, the mother, whoever is raising the kid, the guardian over this, and straighten it out, tell them what's going on. But the only problem is that if a parent, I'm going based off the actions of this fool. We know what's going on. They're learning this shit from their parents. So there ain't nothing to be civil about with them. But had he shown up with the gun, you know what the story would have been. Or if the brother was on, if Mr. Nash was on, then you know what would have happened is that, well, the father had a pistol because he saw this black man carrying a pistol and would have shot him. Now, Texas is an open carry state. And I, as a concealed carry permit holder myself, I employ, always have that thing with you. But let's play the video just to see, because it doesn't show you the whole thing of what happened when it went down.
Your son beat on mine. I need to talk about these damages to my car. Your son, let me show you the video. If you come outside and talk like an adult.
Okay, so he wants to talk to the man.
I'm trying to have a simple conversation. We can take it somewhere else if you want to. I'm going to show you the video of your son hitting our door with this whip and hitting our car. Sorry.
I don't know, but I know that my son told me that your boy jumped him on his way home. My boy, my son.
Our son is.
Yeah, because I saw the way you started walking up on me. We've already had beef before.
We don't have beef.
I'm coming to have a conversation with you, sir. Your son? I'll show you the video. This is what your son came to our house to do.
Our son is 13. He doesn't even go to Lewis.
How did my son jump? Okay, so you beat on your door. Okay, now we have a huge scratch.
He didn't just beat on the door, he had a whip. He had a whip, and apparently, allegedly, he hit the car too, damaging it.
My son never touched your car.
We have
a video that he touched your car?
the neighbor does across the street.
You got a video?
Come over here.
Not really. We have it on video. Get off my property. Seriously, get off my property.
Well, I tell you.
Because you ain't coming over here talking nicely. You're accusing my son. I'm showing you the video.
We're showing you the video.
You ain't showing me the video of me scratching your car. Get off my plan. That's my line. Get off my plan.
Baby, get off the vine.
Oh, that's my grapevine.
Okay, thank you.
You owe me a plant.
I don't owe you shit. Fuck you. I bet you won't bring no motherfucking ass.
Can you please stop, sir? All we want to do is just talk to you.
All right, now let me tell y'all a couple of things. Okay, so from here, he came out with a gun to his side, saying, "I don't like the way you beat on the door. We got beef." So right there, while you didn't point the gun at the person, that's not illegal, but clearly he's aggressive. The brother, obviously, who walked up and beat on the door, Mr. Nash, was upset because something happened to his daughter, this man, this boy, his son, came over there with a whip, beating on the door. So naturally and understandably, yes, he had every right to confront this child's father about what happened. Now, the brother walked off, he did nothing wrong, and then he starts shouting some more at him, talking about, "I owe you a vine."
When your kids want to play fucking victim. Your son came over here.
Y'all are so violent.
Your son came over here.
Baby, please
Your son
go.
came over here with a fucking whip. Bring his ass over here again.
Please.
What the fuck happened?
You have a gun.
Come over here on my side. You
have a.
Fuck you. Bring your motherfucking ass outside without the gun then, bitch.
Come on, let's do it. No, baby, get that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God! The wife, she cute, but she sound annoying. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's annoying. No, you can't be still at this point. The brother did right walking off. When they tell you to come up and fight, don't do anything like that, because then he was gone. You saw he went back for the gun. He's like a coward. He said, "Yeah, I ain't got no fucking gun. Come on." And then when the brother was walking back, what's the first thing you do? Y'all know.
Come over here on my side.
You have a.
Fuck you. Bring your motherfucking ass outside without the gun then.
You heard him say nigga.
I've already come out before.
Come on,
watch.
let's do it. No, baby, get that.
He put the gun down, then went back and pulled the trigger.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But you see something? Look, y'all need to practice your. I hope the brother has a firearm in his house. I hope he has more than one. You should not be surprised. I don't know that neighborhood, but If he finds a burning cross on his lawn, I think we know who the prime suspect would be. Superstar Bella, don't you let nobody, no, nobody gonna run you out of your house. Don't you let nobody run you out. You got a right to live wherever the fuck you want. Don't let nobody run you out. They did that in the 60s and 50s. Remember when blacks would move in those suburbs and integrate the neighborhood, and they were talking about how the property value would go down, and of course, the white families would try and get, them evicted out. They did it with Nat King Cole's family. When Nat King Cole moved in, the home had a meeting, the homeowners association. One of the members said, "We don't want any undesirables in our community." And Nat King Cole told him, he said, "I agree 100%. When I see them, I'll let you be the first to complain." Oh my God. Yeah, Darren. Oh my God, sir. Oh my God. Oh. What's up, John Winthrop? Look at the trailer hitch in the driveway. Why the surprise? The neighbor's packing is beyond me. I don't get the reference to the trailer hitch, John, but okay.
Y'all are so violent.
That son came over here. That son came over here with a fucking whip. Bring his ass over here.
Please. You have a gun.
Come over here on my side.
You have a.
Bring your motherfucking ass outside.
You called him a nigga. I heard that.
Come on, let's
Y'all
do
heard
it.
it?
No, baby, get back.
Bring your motherfucking ass outside without the gun. Okay.
You have a gun.
Come over here on my side.
You have a.
Bring your motherfucking ass outside without the gun, then, bitch. I've already come out before.
Come on, let's do it. No, baby, get back.
Come on, baby, let's do it.
My God.
No good. Oh my God.
God.
Oh my God, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, sir. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh my God. I tell you what, if he came in with a whip, that little bastard came into my door with a whip again for my daughter, I'd have grabbed that whip out of his hand and whipped his ass with it. And his father wanted to start something, I have my gun and I whip his ass with it too. Shit. You come over there trying to stalk my daughter. Hell no. We're gonna whip his little ass. Yeah, it would have gone real south real quick. Absolutely. He's a coward. Look like the little boy from Jerry Maguire. That little boy. I whipped his ass. Yeah, but let's play the video so the mom. Yeah, the mom. I saw the video of the mom telling the little boy to get the hell out of here.
It started off as a knock at Carissa Nash's front door in Forney.
I look at my doorbell camera on my phone first before going to the door, and I see it's a little kid.
That little kid is her 9-year-old neighbor.
That's not a little kid. That's a little
The Kaufman County
That's a
Precinct
gangster
2
in
officer
training.
says the boy may have been trying to confront the Nash families.
That's a Klansman in training.
Then after the second whip,
Boy, you better get your from off my porch beating on my door like this. I will call the police. You need to leave.
it happened on Thursday afternoon off of Crosscut Drive in Forney when Dad, Desiree Nash, got home.
I'm going to have a conversation with you, sir. Your son, I'll show you the video. Hey, sir, you get on your door.
Slap the lights out of his head.
Can you please stop, sir?
Authorities say neighbor Brian Brunson had a gun in his right hand. Officers say the gun went off, firing in the direction of Brian's daughter standing directly behind him.
Oh my God!
Precinct 2 officers arrested Brunson and charged him with deadly conduct.
We tried to get Brian Brunson's side of the story. I spoke to him on the phone briefly, where he posted bond and tells me there is a lot more to the story and that he now has an attorney. Authorities tell us all of this may have stemmed from when the kids were walking home from school.
This stems from a bullying issue between the victim's daughter and the young boy with the whip. There's been several interactions between two of them at different times and different locations.
The Nash family
That's not a
says
cop.
they feel hurt.
That's not an attorney. That's a cop.
This is a racial issue. He comes to the door with this
Little
whip.
Dylan
We're kind of scared to
Moore
send him outside to play.
In Forney, I'm Melanie.
There have been
Bass.
bullying situations before. It may have stemmed from something. That doesn't give the man a right to discharge a firearm at the couple. Yeah, and there may be more to the story. I think there is, but he showed up to the door with a whip. Now, where do you think he got the whip from? Because he had to walk out of the house. I'm assuming, I don't know where his father was or his mother, but at 9 years old, you got to have someone older with you. You can't stay by yourself traditionally. Then your parents get charged with, cruelty to a juvenile, leaving you unattended. But yeah, I would have. Oh, he would not have pulled up to my door with that whip if he came back again. See, they ignore all of that and want to talk about a bullying issue that happened. It could be, but it looks like he's the one. He's the one that grabbed the weapon. And obviously, like father, like son. All right, well, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move on because I got 2 more topics. This is just flat out gross. So, an Atlanta family wins a major lawsuit and wins a major lawsuit from a nursing home facility. Back in 2016, a woman by the name of Lucille Dubose died in 2016 from complications of an untreated pressure wound 33 days after her family had admitted her into this facility. She'd been diagnosed with dementia, and they took her into a care facility to be taken care of. With most people can't take care of a relative who is sickly, they put them in a nursing home, and they want them to take care of their loved one. Now, apparently, however, she developed a pressure wound. And if you know what a pressure wound is, they're injuries that are to the skin uh, that affect the underlying tissue after prolonged pressure. So you're talking about somebody that sits for so long in a chair or in a bed, and there's a wound that develops, and you don't treat that wound well. Eventually, it can get worse and worse, and can get infected. And apparently, a doctor who discovered a sore claims the hole was the size of a hand and had developed on the 77-year-old's lower back, and it was so deep that a doctor could see the bone. She was hurt for 10 days, and no one did anything, Michelle McKinney, Dubose's daughter, said. I'm trying to see if there was a video of this, so there is a video of it. But the family won $6 million. There was also this facility. Oh my goodness, that's Mr. Boyce in the hospital. So this facility, I gave their name. This is the Life Care Center of Lawrenceville. Now, according to this, they have a history of violations. Back in 2017, a state investigator wrote that the facility failed to notify the physician of a newly developed pressure ulcer and failed to obtain treatment for 10 days on Ms. DuBose. There was not any evidence of any documentation that any treatment orders were obtained or that DuBose was provided wound treatment for the open area to the residents safely, said the inspector. It also noted staff's inaction put DuBose in immediate jeopardy. The 125-bed facility built in 1999 has a history of violations. In 2005, they had to pay $2.5 million to the federal government after 5 whistleblowers alleged the Gwinnett County Center failed to adequately care for patients, resulting in several residents' premature deaths. According to a press release issued by the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia, the whistleblowers also alleged the facility suffered from severe staffing shortages. I'm going to play the video. There's actually a health survey here, and there's a link to the website so you can check this out. But we're going to play the video, but I'm going to share a story about this. Thank you, Black Voltron, for that. And we're going to allow some calls to come in a little bit. Darius say they're suspect. They've been out here. I can believe that. I'll tell y'all my story about nursing homes in a minute.
I've heard more horror stories.
Y'all put that like, share, and subscribe button.
A daughter frustrated with a facility she says failed to protect her mother.
She was hurt for 10 days and no one did anything.
This past March, a Gwinnett County jury awarded Michelle McKinney more than $6 million in a wrongful death lawsuit against Life Care Center of Lawrenceville. Her mother, Lucille DuBose, died in 2016 from complications of an untreated pressure sore while under the nursing home's care. By the time a doctor discovered it, the suit claims a hole the size of a hand developed on the 77-year-old's lower back.
Down to the bone.
Attorneys Xavier Carter and Lance Laurie represent the DuBose family.
You know, Andy, it's not just that she passed away, which is terrible. It's the way that she died.
And an 11 Alive investigation uncovered the root cause of DuBose's death: staffing shortages. A claim not made by her family, but by 3 former Life Care employees, revealed in court depositions.
They were understaffed. We were very shorthanded.
If you don't have the staffing to provide the care, then the patient loses out.
Listen to an attorney question a former certified nursing assistant about not having enough time to give residents water and showers.
I think I heard you getting ready to say that sometimes people just did not get showers.
They didn't.
Okay.
We just marked that they had the shower.
It was frequent that you did not provide cups of ice and water for this resident.
Right. We did not. It just wasn't time for that.
Not enough time for water.
What?
It's inhumane. How do you not have enough time for water?
DuBose, so dehydrated, she needed 4 liters of water when she arrived at the emergency room.
She always seemed to be thirsty. Every time that we were there, she'll say that she was thirsty.
A new study by Seniorly, released in April, shows understaffed long-term care facilities in the U.S. doubled during the pandemic. Georgia ranks 13th in the country, with 28% of facilities understaffed, up 7% since 2020.
What should those staffing numbers be?
Katie Sloan is CEO of Leading Age, a national organization that represents 5,000 nonprofit long-term care providers.
The state of the state right now is a crisis.
This year, the Biden administration announced a plan it says will help, including establishing a minimum nursing home staffing requirement funded by the federal government. Sloan isn't sure the president's proposal alone will fix the problem.
I think the challenge for us right now is if you come up with staffing ratios that are mandated, but we don't have the people there to fill those jobs, then we're going to be back to the same place we are now. But we'll be punished for not having adequate staff.
DuBose's former nursing home declined 11 Alive's request for an interview. In a prepared statement, Life Care claims the facility was never understaffed during Miss DeBoe's residency, and
No
it called
shit.
the former employees disgruntled. Not so, says the nurses.
It was not sufficient staff. They would often ask you to do a double.
Unfortunately, the staffing issue was an issue.
All while Life Care corporate executives limited overtime uncovered in company emails obtained by 11 Alive months before DeBose's death. One, instructing all of its facilities to find some opportunities for labor reduction.
You would sacrifice a life for money. That's where your morals are.
Well, okay, yeah, of course, that is where their morals are. That is exactly where their morals are. A lot of these nursing homes, guys, let me say this, and I'm going to tell you my personal story. My grandmother had been in a nursing home. My dad's mother, uh, when she got old, and she had Alzheimer's. Now, I don't recall, because I was very young, anything dealing with abuse, anything dealing with, improper care, negligence, nothing like that. I do know my father had stated he had issues with them and how my grandmother was treated. Of course, some of you have been wondering why was she in a nursing home, why my father put her in there. Well, he didn't. My grandfather made that decision. My grandfather was married at the time, a spouse, they can make that decision if they're not able to take care of that person. And, you try and take care of the family the best way you can. But nursing homes, a lot of them, don't know all of them, but I've especially seen my grandfather in later years. Mom's father had to be in a facility at some time, one of these hospice cares. And some of them, while some of the employees may be cool, a lot of them were trash. He went to different ones. I know Biden. Good luck with that, yeah. They are as they pointed out, they're understaffed. They're probably also underpaid, and they don't care for their patients. No, neither was my great grandmother, Judah Queen. My great grandmother, probably until like the last year of her life, she lived to be 99. Is when I think she went into a nursing. I think she went into a nursing facility. But I remember her; she was living in a senior care apartment. She was not, she lived her life to the fullest. Rams almost lived to be 100. It's hard to believe it was 25 years ago when she passed, but we were real close with her. She used to watch me as a kid. My great grandmother, Grams, I remember her. My grandfather's mother, she was cool. Yeah. Judah Queen, this Biden ass need to be in one of those be in one a nursing be a nursing home watching Matlock, huh? Matlock and eating some jello. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but most of them, like I said, a lot of them are trash. They don't take care of their people. They don't take care of their patients, which is a sad thing. So you have to double back and check on your relatives every day if you have them in their facility. Yeah, absolutely, Darius. But if she had a bed sore the size of a hand, they weren't thinking this. They weren't even giving her water. They should be out of $6 million. That's not enough. They should have been hit heavily. It should have been a point where that family would own the damn life center. They should have been a lawsuit. Them motherfuckers filed for bankruptcy. Just think of that. $6 million for the debt, causing the death of your loved one. I'm sorry. That's too little. That should have been worse. She should have gotten. They should be shut down for this. If they were denying senior citizens water, they were denying it. Say no time for water, no ice, hot water at that. That makes me think they didn't even if they let that bed sore let her sit like that, they didn't even give her a shower probably. So all of that factors in. They should have been charged with some type of negligent crime. Just like we had that, remember we did a story a few weeks ago about the family in the nursing, about their loved one who was in a nursing home, this veteran in World War II who was in a nursing care facility, hospice care, and they didn't perform CPR on him. They had to be in prison, absolutely. Somebody got to be in prison for this. And speaking of this, this is also disgusting. So we're talking about senior citizens. These are the people who are not treated properly. It's our senior citizens in this country, senior citizens, our elders, and the infirm. Now, I want to tell you this story because you mentioned Darius and Black Voltron about taking care of your family. Sometimes our family ain't shit. And you're going to see from this story. Now, this is gross, flat out gross. Now, this family allowed their special needs daughter to literally melt on a couch. To literally melt on a couch. I'm not lying when I say this. This was a 36-year-old woman. Her name is, this is out of Slaughter, Louisiana. It's not far from Baton Rouge, which is my home, my old adopted home. And this happened. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. This is gross, so I want everybody to understand that. I never seen nothing like this before.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
I like I'm not even in Houston. I like Isaiah.
Well, it's that time to kick off the Factor
I like Isaiah
Uncensored
Carey.
tonight.
I like Isaiah Carey because he's actually gotten caught. Have y'all seen him when he's talking plain English and he's talking white? This video when he was a young reporter. What really happened in the death of Chris Woods and a bug flies in his mouth? Oh shit! I'm spouting in this motherfucker. Well, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but let's get serious. Excuse me.
New information coming to light in the case of two deadbeat-ass parents near Baton Rouge, Louisiana, charged in a severe case of neglect. Now, we first told you about this story last night on The Factor. Sheila and Clay Fletcher are now out of jail after being indicted on second-degree murder charges. Their 36-year-old daughter died in a way no one should: severe and extreme neglect. She literally marinated in a couch for years, basically melted into it, and was found covered in feces, urine, and we're told large maggots. Chris Nakamoto, an investigative reporter in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, broke the story with my former photographer in Baton Rouge long ago, Joe McCoy. Now, if you thought details of the story we first told you about were just disgusting, Nakamoto says there's more. He joins.
I know Chris Nakamoto. He likes to get the story. This is gross. Yeah, that's him. Oh, shit. I'm dying in this country, motherfucker. I'll show y'all in a minute.
It's just on The Factor now with where the parents are now.
They actually had a bond set yesterday. It was $300,000 apiece.
And then a bail bondsman came to assist them with that bail. But there was a little hiccup. He brought about $3,000 of money short that they needed to get out. So Sheila was able to get out last night, and Clay just bonded out this morning after they got some of the additional money. It really is just a horrific case of neglect. Both of them were indicted on second-degree murder charges Monday by a grand jury in East Louisiana Parish for basically letting their daughter, who had autism, rot away on a sofa, they believe, for possibly 12 years.
Let me pause that. So for 12 years, they let allegedly, I'm only going to say alleged illegal purposes, but you let your daughter melt for 12 years on a couch. So that means if she was on the couch that whole time, she was never fed. I'm sorry, never get feeding. I'm going to say she wasn't fed. Well, I'm going to say she was fed. It was going on for 12 years, but probably not even that good of food. But that means no bath, no shower, no cleaning, nothing of any kind. It's gross, guys. I'm sorry. And if you're triggered, I'm going to put it up graphic. Graphic details ahead, viewer discretion advised. I don't know if there are any photographs of it. I wouldn't even want to watch photographs of something like this. But if you're triggered, if you're sick, please get out. But this was literal torture.
Wow. So how long was she dead before they called authorities, or did they call authorities? Give us the details on that, because it's not too clear.
Our sources think that she wasn't dead for very long. The parents were out of town the weekend before she was found. She was found Monday, January 3rd, and they had called saying that their daughter was unresponsive. And then immediately when, paramedics help arrived, and then
to answer your question, Darius, yes, she was autistic. She was autistic. I don't know if you want to call that handicap. People, she had, let's put it this way, let's say special needs. If you're autistic, I would think that would be someone that has special needs.
Coroner arrived. He said, we need to treat this like a crime scene. Basically, he could tell it was just utter neglect. Literally, her legs were embedded into the sofa, and she hadn't moved from there. It was basically, from what we were told, like a latrine or a cesspool that she was living in. Just horrific conditions. She had open wounds to the bone from her feet all the way to her buttocks, and essentially had gnats and maggots all around her body.
Oh my God, that's just incredible and just so damn sad. Now, how did they live in a house? Obviously, there are going to be smells.
Yeah.
If she is sitting there in her feces, her urine, and sitting there for at least a decade, how did they live in that house?
So that's what's so interesting. I guess they were just immune to the smell after living in the filth for so long. Listen, we got a picture from the living room of the floors that were buckling underneath the sofa, the wooden floors, because it was just layers upon layers of human waste, urination, feces, all on those wood floors. And essentially, the coroner told me when he had showed up at that house, he couldn't eat for a week. And he's a practicing physician who's been doing this for 30 years, and he's seen a lot of neglect before. He said he's never seen a case like this. One of her causes of death was starvation, and they said she was so hungry, she was actually eating parts of the sofa around her. During her autopsy, they found sofa foam inside her stomach, along with feces. Feces were in her nostrils, they were in her mouth and her hair. Just a horrific, horrific case.
What do we know about these damn parents? Who are they?
So
what did they do for a living? I mean, just who are these people?
They lived a normal life. The neighbors say they would see them come and go. They were always the church-going type, as they describe them. Always in church every Sunday. The mother worked for a prosecutor in the city of Zachary, which is probably about 15 minutes from where they live. And it's not really clear what the dad did. he may have been involved in some nonprofit type.
So wait, she worked for basically for law enforcement. You work for a city prosecutor? Oh my goodness. They're demons. That's what they are. I'm looking at the New York Post article. They said their daughter they are adamant that Lacey was of sound mind to make her own types of decisions and claim she never complained of her stores and that Sheila would routinely clean them. The attorney, DeQuilla said last week, that was the district attorney. So this is got to be in East Feliciana Parish because the district attorney is Sam DeQuilla. He said outside the courtroom that he believed justice was served here today. Lacey Fletcher didn't deserve the way she was treated. So what happened was a grand jury indicted the family. These two, I'm not even calling them human. I'm trying to be respectful because as an attorney, you want to be professional, but these demons, I'm going to just say that this is demonic. Yeah, they're entitled to due process and whatever defense they may have, but I can't even fathom this as a defense attorney. I don't know how they would defend it. Because if the child is special need, she's 36 years old, but if she's special needs, you're going to need care 24/7. And even if it's in your house, if you got feces, you got all of this stuff going on, any mother, any parent is going to clean that in their sound mind. So that's their mug shot. The coroner, Dr. Bickham, told the Daily Mail that the photographs from the scene were so revolting that the medical personnel were on standby when the images were shown to the grand jury in case they fainted. Yeah, Slaughter, Louisiana. That's right in East Feliciana Parish. I'm real familiar with it. Small city. But let's go ahead and finish the video.
But it's really kind of unclear what he did for a living. Some of our sources say that the daughter, who was not verbal at the time of her death, was very verbal when she was in school. She was on the volley team and she could recite things like that. Some of the people that went to school with her. So it seems like she really digressed over the last few years, and the parents, instead of picking up the phone to make a call and say we need some help over here to treat our daughter's condition, they just let her rot away on a sofa. It's literally one of the most disturbing stories we've ever covered in my 15 years doing this here in the Baton Rouge area.
It's just mind-blowing. And so did they ever have visitors over to the house, relatives over to the house? What did people say if they did, or did they just keep her locked up? Was she placed in like a living room or some secret room where no one would see her?
That's a good point.
So from what we're being told, she was actually in the living room, and here's the kicker: the mother literally had her recliner next to the sofa where her daughter was rotting away. So the sofa was positioned on the TV, and she apparently had been there for possibly up to 10 years or so. We talked to one of the neighbors who I had asked, hey, have you ever been in their house? That his own neighbor's kid across the street had died 5 months ago. So they kind of kept to themselves, and it seems like over the past few years, they really retreated, and they were basically like hermits, not really coming, inviting people into the house. Because certainly I would think if people were in the house and witnessed that and didn't do anything, Louisiana is one of the mandatory reporting states. Those adults would have a real responsibility to report the neglect that they saw. And
I got kicked out. Excuse me. Yeah, 15 years. The neighbor said he didn't even know. Let's go back and listen to it.
what's happening, they could possibly face charges too. The sofa was positioned in front of the TV, and she apparently had been there for possibly up to 10 years or so. We talked to one of the neighbors who I had asked, hey, have you ever been in their house? He said, yeah, I've been in their house. Well, how long ago was it? He said 15 years ago. We actually broke the news to the neighbor that Lacey had died. He didn't even know that his own neighbor's kid across the street had died 5 months ago. So they kind of kept to themselves, and it seems like over the past few years, they really retreated, and they were basically like hermits, not really coming, inviting people into the house.
I see why. You're committing.
I think if people were in the house and witnessed that and didn't do anything, Louisiana is one of the mandatory reporting states. Those adults would have a real responsibility to report the neglect that they saw. And if someone was aware of this happening, they could possibly face charges too.
That is just incredible and mind-blowing. And you see so many pictures with the mother and father with their LSU shirts on, out having a good time, all while their daughter is sitting there just wasting away and dying. So what's the next step for prosecutors now? Obviously, you said they are out on bond. And so what's the next step now for investigators and prosecutors in the case?
So the next step now that they've been indicted by a grand jury, is they'll have an arraignment where they plead guilty or not guilty. And then as that happens, then the process will move ahead with, motions, hearings, and then possibly a trial date that will be set. But that probably won't happen for a few more months or so. But the autopsy was completed back in March, and it was immediately ruled a homicide, Lacey's death. And the big question that a lot of the public here has is, why did it take 5 months, if she died in January, to arrest the parents when everybody who showed up that night realized this was a problem? They'd never seen anything like this. The stench hit them like a ton of bricks the minute the door was opened. So how in the world did it take 5 months to arrest these parents? And from what the sheriff said was, they wanted to make sure that all their I's were dotted, T's. Case was going to a grand jury this week, and they wanted to see what the grand jury was going to do. And I think prosecutors were pretty clear. They were going to be able to get a charge of cruelty to the infirm, or maybe even manslaughter or negligent homicide, but no one really expected that they'd be able to get a second-degree murder indictment, which, if convicted, would carry a mandatory life sentence in prison for the parents. And so second-degree murder shows they had intent to kill their daughter, who literally rotted away on the sofa for all those years, and it appears they did nothing to help her.
That's horrible. Well, all right, Chris, once again, excellent job in reporting. You guys broke this story, and it's just so sad and disturbing that someone had to go through this, but we appreciate the effort that you guys do and make right here in Baton Rouge. Thank you guys so much. Chris Nakamoto from
Let me play the short
And
clip
welcome
of
back to the
this.
Factor Uncensored. Now, this
Watch-
is simply unbelievable.
Watch what he
and straight
said.
out disgusting. A woman in Louisiana, close to my hometown, might have suffered the worst case of negligence you've ever seen before. Let me just tell you, there's some real graphic images ahead, so prepare yourself. This is so nuts, we just have to call this one a case of crazy-ass criminals.
If you can't count on your damn parents, just who can you count on? Sheila and Clay Fletcher have both been indicted in the death of their daughter in Louisiana. They're being accused of allowing 36-year-old Lacey Fletcher to waste away and eventually melt into a damn sofa, literally. Lacey, who lived with her parents in Slaughter just outside of Baton Rouge, was found dead, partially nude and sitting upright, while also being submerged in a hole in a couch, covered from head to toe in urine, feces, and insect bites. The poor woman had bed sores that went down to the bone. Her body was found with live bugs and rodent excrement on it. A grand jury handed down the indictment in the murder of the 36-year-old who weighed less than 100 pounds. We simply can't make this kind of nasty ass up. Who are these people? Who are these damn parents?
He is gone raw. He's gone hood. Isaiah giving that McKinley High treatment. Let me finish reading. Listen, I'm not laughing at obviously the subject, but just him going on.
Meanwhile, we're told Lacey may have sat in her own filth for about 12 years, according to the coroner.
God.
She was found covered in maggots. Investigators say she died of acute medical neglect dating back to at least 2010. The coroner's office said the parents were on a weekend trip when Lacey died. They reportedly claimed she had extreme social anxiety and autism. Lacey also suffered from locked-in syndrome, a rare neurological disorder characterized by complete paralysis of voluntary muscles except for the eyes.
So that answers your question. She couldn't move, Darius. She was special needs and she had locked-in syndrome, so she could not move. She obviously couldn't walk. If she sat in that, because I don't see any human being, even autistic child, will go to the bathroom.
Just so damn sad. But now it's time to lock these bastards up.
Throw the book at them. A trial date has yet to be set in this case. Of course, they were just indicted this week.
Listen to what he said at the end.
Parents could be sentenced to life in prison, which would be a short sentence for these bastards.
And he says it in such the whitest voice. This will be a short sentence for these bastards. His professional voice.
Throw the book at him. A trial date has yet to be set in this case. Of course, they were just indicted this week. Now, if convicted, both parents could be sentenced to life in prison, which would be a short sentence for these bastards.
God. Yeah. A short sentence for these bastards. Now, yeah, he's always been. Y'all remember this? Hold on. Now, what really happened in Chris Wood's death? Man, I'm dying in this fucked up motherfucking country, boy.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
What the fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town, man. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't wait.
The corner store. Now y'all heard the corporate voice and the corner store voice. He was in the corporate voice. Good evening, everyone. Let us go ahead and make cast out vote. Something flew in. Oh, who the fuck did this shit, man? This country ass town. They flew in this motherfucker. Why come to this motherfucking country, man?
The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see the powder. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
What? Oh, okay. Oh, who wrote that? Wait, was it? I'm dying in this country ass fucked up town. Oh, goddamn. Why don't you man up? I hear you, Isaiah Carey, but your ass need to just man up. Shit. It's a country town every damn where. It's a damn country town everywhere, man. I'm from Memphis. I'm running for mayor. I got barbecue sauce and all the laws going on. You know, my ex-wife, this bitch had me paying the rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck and diamonds on her damn wrist. And here I am all alone because she got me smoking out the window, saying, how can she do this to me? That's right, you some bitch. Judge Joe can do disco and R&B all the damn time. He got me in this country. Man up, Isaiah Curry. Yeah, personally, Isaiah Curry. The grasshoppers, let me just say, the grasshoppers are terrible. Terrible, terrible this time of year. They're worse than street clothes, aren't they? That's what I call them, grasshopper street clothes. Because they're always in street clothes, aren't they? We needed to laugh after those two stories, but we're gonna wrap this up in a little bit. But I do want to take a few callers. Yeah, Judge Joe doing smoking out the window, saying how can she do this to me? Cause she's a bitch. She's worse than that damn cum Queen Harris. All right, I need a couple people to call in. Black Voltron tried to call in. Let Black Voltron call in. He tried Sunday, so go ahead and let's call in. We're gonna take a few calls because we're about to wrap it up in a little bit. Come on, you got me dying in this. You got me dying in this town, man. This country backwoods. I heard the Deliverance theme song, man. What really happened in Chris Wood's death? What happened with Chris Wood's death? Was No, personally, I feel. Did y'all watch the Celtics thing on the Miami? Jimmy Butler, he gonna get his 36 points, Ernie. He gonna get 36 points in the paint. The Celtics, look, the Celtics will not play with Larry Bird. All right, when I played with Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, those guys were great. This Boston Celtics team, though, they got tore up from the floor up, Ernie. They got their ass handed to them. Call in 656-6760. I know there's a delay. Take a quick call. All right, nobody's calling in. No, we never found out what Black Voltron said it went to voicemail again. Let me see. I don't know why it does that. Let's see. Okay, I see recent. All right. Yes, Black Voltron.
Hey, Gavin.
All right, good evening, brother. You're on live.
Hey.
Yes, how you doing?
Okay, right up. Hey, yeah. Good evening. Big evening salute to the Peace Power Relationship Party and
All right, brother, what you got? Hello? Okay, I can hear you now. Try again, Black Voltron. Black Voltron?
yeah.
Barely. Can you try again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, man, let's start the all this.
I think we're having some technical issues with trying to speak with Black Voltron. Try and call back, Black Voltron. Hello? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why these calls don't work. We're gonna let Black Voltron call back in a second, and then we can. If they got, I may take one more call after that. Thank you, Darius from Atlanta, for your donation. Please, guys, donate to the Cash App, the PayPal, the Zelle. As most of you know, my YouTube has demonetized my channel, so any monies you give to the Cash App, to the PayPal, is greatly appreciated. We got Black Voltron black. We got him black and back.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I'm sorry, StreamYard has me frozen. Yeah, I can see that. Let me try, because I'm connected to the internet. It's working, so it shouldn't be a problem. Let me try something. If I freeze, let me know, but I'm connected to my extension. Let's see. Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on. We're going to try and put this through again. All right, Black Voltron. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. We're gonna have to put it through speaker, guys. I had it through the computer. Can you hear me, Black Voltron?
I can still hear you.
All right, guys, can y'all hear him? I got him on the microphone so y'all can listen. This might be a little loud, but go ahead and talk, Black Voltron.
All right, you can hear me clear, right?
I can hear you clear.
Okay, peace, power, reparations to you, Gavin, and a big B1 salute to everybody in chat. And like I was saying before, man, this is about the craziest, wildest story that I've ever seen in my fucking life, man. Somebody let their own child just literally rot away into the couch inside. And dude, man, I've smelled all types of smells. I smelled the smell of death. I mean, working out here in San Francisco, I done smelled every bodily fluid known to man and woman, working for the local transit system here. And I mean, that smell will make you vomit violently, when it gets intense enough. Feces, urine, barf, what else? Rotting flesh, all at the
Vomit.
same time.
Right. I'm sure. I can't fathom that. But then
I can't. I've smelt it.
No, I mean, I can't fathom. What I mean by that is I can't fathom the fact that for 12 years that was going on. They said nothing and did nothing about it. Nobody complained about it. But I can see, if you listen to what Chris Nakamoto said, the neighbor never was over at the house in 15 years.
Well, not just the neighbor, nobody.
Nobody. Well, yeah, he said, "Oh, I never knew this happened. I didn't know she died." So they just decided, and I'm an attorney, and it's the only reason why I'm saying this. But I mean, they decided to, it is alleged, but apparently just by the allegations, I mean, they're just horrendous. They allowed their daughter to melt away. They did nothing. They just let it go on. I'm sure they smelt it in their house, how they got used to it. They say the floors, according to reporters, the floors were buckling for all the stuff, the waste that was on the floor.
But Gavin,
that's just trifling.
Gets on your clothes, man. All right, that smell.
Yeah,
is pungent. That smell goes everywhere. Ain't really no hiding from there. So it's like it's not just them, just sitting in there. Some of them neighbors should have smelled the smell of rotten flesh, man. You leave some fish or some meat out. And when it goes bad for a couple days, you smell that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Smell that, and let alone human waste, human feces, human barf, and that's rotting away too, and rats and stuff running and literally eating your daughter away. Rats and mice and roaches and bugs. I mean, that was wild kingdom inside their house, man. That was a science experiment, a whole lesson in ecology. All that bacteria and fungus and stuff in there, and just the funk of her not being washed in 12 years. Just think about that. Not brushing her teeth, not doing nothing for her, not even, dude. This is their own blood. This is demonic above demonic, and this is these white folks. They do that to their own daughter. So what you think they gonna do to black folks? This needs to be broadcast.
This is a prosecutor. This is someone that worked for the city prosecutor out in Central. I've been. I worked out as a private attorney. I've been out in, I'm sorry, I think she said Baker, if I'm not mistaken. I've been out to that courtroom. But nevertheless, if you work at the prosecutor, you should know better.
No, beyond that, man. This ain't got nothing to do with the prosecutor.
No, but I'm saying
decency.
It is decency, but I'm saying it isn't decent. But what I'm saying is that this was clearly deliberate, and somebody who is in authority. You work in a prosecutor's office, I'm sure, a city court, she's familiar or have heard of these cases before of parents who leave their children unattended, neglected. This is somebody who had special needs because she had locked-in syndrome, which means her muscles don't move. She can't walk. You let her just sit there and you let her rot away. And then the same thing with the nursing home situation. They knew this. They didn't even give these people water.
Well, they knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that, you know, they're committing negligence. And why are such light charges going up against these people? I mean, didn't they have like other children or, you know, nieces, nephews, anybody come to visit in 12 years, 15 years? Nobody, no aunties, no uncles, no cousins, no friends of the family on both sides.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Marriage. Nobody came through.
Yeah, what happened with that? That's a good point. That is a good point. What happened to the family members because they weren't coming around? They weren't coming around. Yeah, I'm assuming she's an only child. But still, if they have cousins, if they have brothers and sisters, they would call and check on them. They would go visit. Yeah, I'm coming in town. Let me come visit. Oh, no, we don't need you because we got to deal with I can't see them not knowing that.
For 12 years.
For 12 years, you never seen your...
years.
I mean, look, I've gone out seeing some relatives. Of course, we have social media now, so it's rarely that relatives who I don't see physically in person, that I don't see them, at least virtually, that I don't talk to. So I know what's going on with them. They update and talk with us. So...
But Gavin, you've seen them since 2007 and 2010, though, right?
That's off.
Come on, man.
And you don't see them after that, something's wrong.
Right. You're going to see them once within a decade. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, this was all out murder, man. But I was even more than that, dude. This was torture, dude. Can you imagine the pain she was going through? You know, not just physically, of just watching shit just eat at her. They said they found her, you know, with her melting inside of the couch, but rats,
maggots,
mice, roaches, ants, God knows how many other bugs was eating on her.
Flies, maggots, yeah.
The flies, yo, dude.
Man.
I've seen.
I've seen this stuff like this after Katrina because they had bodies that were, you know, people that had melted, literally decomposed. But this was even worse because they did it for so long. They knew they got frustrated. Obviously, and this is my thinking. They were frustrated of taking care of their daughter, and they did it in the worst way possible. I mean, it was worse either way. You're not supposed to do that to your child. That's your child, regardless.
Right, your baby.
But the worst possible thing you could do is to just let your baby, your daughter, sit there and rot, and not feed her, not take care of her. You got frustrated. You know, I would rather, if you felt that need that you couldn't take care of her anymore, I would rather you've put her in a facility.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's kind of messed up still, at least
it's better than that.
To do, well, absolutely. But this was some satanic shit. And, you know, they're talking about how they go to church all the time. Fuck. That you caught that? I go to church.
That
church
was the
going.
most insulting part of all. It's like they're a good church, but you know, this white supremacists has been doing that same shit throughout the history of the United States and before. They're such God-fearing people that they torture their own kind. If it's not black people, it's their own European white kind. I mean, yeah, we forgot about the Inquisition, you know, the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, the so-called Enlightenment Age, and the hellholes of North America through the system of slavery. They went to church that whole time. They're good, God-fearing Christians, supposedly, allegedly.
They're not.
They worship
They're good in name.
White supremacy. They worship the devil.
They're Christian in name, not in faith, in spirit, because a Christian wouldn't have done this. You would have done this to your child. Jesus talked about, you know, the Beatitudes, as well as taking, you know, he talked, do unto the golden rule, do unto others as I have done unto you. And, blessed are those who, right. When I was sick, you took care of me.
Those who can't do for their own, you know, need to have a millstone wrapped around their neck and thrown into the ocean. I mean, that's their baby, man.
Yeah, but this was, I'm gonna keep monitoring
No
this
society
story.
condones that. Come on, man.
No, and that's in East Feliciana Parish. If anybody, I know exactly where that is. That's like,
Me too.
yeah, that's right
That's
out.
my ancestral home, actually.
Oh, really?
That's where my great-great-grandfather came from. Yeah, Clinton, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The county seat.
Right. Yeah, Sam. When they said Sam DeQuilla, I already know who that was because DeQuilla is the DA over there. But this is, yeah, but I'm gonna keep monitoring it. But yeah, this is gross. That nursing home story was even bad. I think the family should have gotten. I don't know how they got $6 million. They could have gotten at least $100 million out of it.
I was about to say 60.
Well, probably
120 at least.
maybe 30 million at best. I'm dreaming if I say 100. But at that point, the nursing facility ought to be shut down and people ought to be prosecuted for criminal negligence.
Yeah, these are some heavy stories, man. It's like, you just see the depravity and stuff of just being in the system of white supremacy, and they only getting second-degree charges. Why don't they get maximum charges?
Mm-hmm. I don't think in that case, the nursing home case, I didn't read where anybody was charged.
No, I meant the parents of that tortured their own daughter.
On the first-degree murder, because
yeah.
I mean, the grand jury came back with second-degree murder, but if the prosecutor probably could have been pushing. I don't know what goes on because the grand jury proceedings are closed to the public. They're private. However, the prosecutor probably could have, if he wanted to, go for the death penalty. You have to get, obviously, the grand jury to return a bill of indictment, but they probably just didn't want to do that, and they did the second-degree murder based off of it. But I have no telling what they were thinking, but they were probably revolted. I'm sure they had to be if you watched and saw those photographs. I mean, that was just the couch that we saw, but and then I know it's not that. Of course, it's not funny, but to see Isaiah Curry calling them bastards at the end, I was laughing my ass off. Yeah.
Yeah, the nigga came out of his mouth real quick, didn't he? Boy, that nigga just went just jumped up out his throat really fast when he saw that story. Boy, he was damn near cussing and stuff. That was hilarious.
Yes, throw the book at these bastards. What really happened in Chris Wood's death? I'm the fucking dickhead, man. I'm dying in this country.
Nigga in 0.5 milliseconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Nigga.
I'm dying in this country, motherfucker, man. Shit.
All right, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna let you get back to the program. Thanks for taking my call. And we need to broadcast this story every single time. The white supremacists come up talk about Chicago, black on black crime. We need to have these stories like this on the ready. Like, oh, really? You want to talk about crime? Like how these white folks just let the daughter melt into the couch. So what about that? And watch these white supremacists just vanish, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. And on that, and I'm gonna let you go, man. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, brother Black Voltron. Appreciate it. Out of Oaktown, California. Do we have, let's see. So we're gonna wrap it up in a little bit. I can take one more call. I know Danielle's probably asleep by now. She stood up as long as she could. We can take one more caller. And we're going to wrap it up because it is almost 12 o'clock. I said I wasn't going to do 2 hours. I ended up doing it because we went a little further. Is brother... Okay, well, since we don't have any more people calling in, I'm going to wrap this up. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking more about these stories. Of course, we would like for you all to order some Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Order you some Nawny's seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's comes great with every dish. We're actually in the process of getting it in stores. I've told you all that story before. In Texas, we were looking at a store who's interested in purchasing and having our product on the shelf. We also, of course, want you to go to Facebook, subscribe to The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States. That book will be available soon. I'm privileged to say that I've finished all my edits, so I'm in the process of now just organizing it and putting it and uploading on Amazon for pre-order real soon, which will likely be between I keep saying it, but it'll just say, let's just say soon. I won't keep changing it so that way. And I will make an announcement so that everybody will do that. But go to @Commonwealth Cause to subscribe. Now, of course, if you'd like to advertise with the channel, I do advertisements on here. Please go to email me at gmail, gavin.jewishone@gmail.com. If you like to see content not on here, please go to Patreon and take a look at that. Thank you. You needed to, I will definitely look at that manifesto and read what he said. 180-page manifesto. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Of course, we have our music. Most definitely. See you, Judah Queen. We have our music. We'd like for you to check out our music. Of course, Gotta Get On Up is our theme song, but I also got Video Soul, which is on Apple and iTunes. Please go ahead and purchase those. And also Gotta Get On Up. So let's go on ahead and get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I want to thank you all for coming into the chat. And by the way, before we go, of course, you all be safe and be blessed. And let's get out this country, motherfucker. One more time.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't see where.
Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. Let's get on up this motherfucker, man. Let's get on up. Let's play some Gotta Get On Up here, man. Good night, y'all. Let's get let's get out this country, motherfucker, and get on the dance floor. It's time to get up on this motherfucker. Good night, everybody.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where the love. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll feel the groove. Get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby, feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
To Chris Wood's deck.
The fuck is that? Yeah. I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck, I can't see power. Just get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't see me.